Huh. That certainly is something.
A yellow big blob with lots of brown, red, black
Sort of looks
spots.
like when you take all the colors of Play-Doh and mix it together, and it just sort of
But
turns
a
into
lot of yellow.
I don't know where I went wrong.
What were you trying to make again?
It's scrambled eggs. Can't you tell?
Well, what did you add?
Wow. I was cracking eggs and mixing it up, and I'm thinking, let's jazz this up a little bit. Your mommy's really good at that, so I'm like, how hard could it be? So I went into the cabinet over there, and I grabbed some chili powder. I'm like, chili powder, that would be good with eggs. And while I was in there, I saw the cayenne pepper, and I was like, yeah, add a little bit of kick this morning.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I thought so too. But then it seemed like I just couldn't stop. And so while I was in there, I saw ginger powder. And I was like, well, you can't ever get enough ginger. So I had to add that. Curry powder was in there, and I really like curry. Ground sage. Sages are like smart people, so I'm like, that has to be good for your food. Garlic powder, because, garlic powder always just adds that accent that you're looking for. And this is that Tajin seasoning that Logan is so fond of, with a hint of lime. I'm like, man, all that would be so good. So I just added it all. I'm like, how could that be anything but awesome?
Are you sure you didn't add anything else? There's a lot of brown in there. I don't think you added that much cayenne powder.
You're right. Well, then I had to get some cinnamon. I thought I'd have to add some sweetener to counteract some of the spice that I added in there. And while I was in that closet, I saw the organic cacao powder, and it's like, well, who doesn't like chocolate? So, it all seems so good, and then
Dad,
yeah.
What are those bumpy things?
Those floating chunks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I kind of added fruit gushers to my to my eggs. They just explode in your mouth with this gooey goodness that I was like, that would be epic in my eggs. But yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to eat that. I'm not even sure I want to cook that. Anyway, it went wrong. Really wrong. What do you think I should do?
I think that you should start over with a new batch of eggs.
Just start
add,
over?
like olive oil or butter, salt and pepper.
So just keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And don't add stuff to it. Unnecessary ingredients to a simple recipe. I think that's pretty wise. Probably what we're going to do. We're going to move that over there. But you know what, Pop? That reminds me. It reminds you of the scriptures we were in on Sunday in Galatians. Anything about me adding random weird things to the simple recipe of scrambled eggs?
Oh yeah, how the people were adding things to the gospel.
Yeah, they were adding stuff to the gospel. They were adding requirements and expectations. And you know what? We can do the same thing too. We can forget that it's through grace, that it's by the faithfulness of Jesus and by believing in him that we receive newness and we receive being called sons and daughters and heirs of the kingdom, and we've received forgiveness and all these things. It's not because we add stuff to it, like doing good works or reading your Bible or praying or going to church or, as Paul in Paul's days, getting circumcised and all these things we put in. It's just about accepting Jesus, trusting in him as Lord and following him, surrendering to him and his ways. And so, hey, you know what? I bet some people out there are going to be eating eggs this week. What do you think? Probably. Maybe you're going to be mixing up your own eggs. So as you do, remember what I learned here with Paige this morning, that you don't have to add anything to scrambled eggs to have awesome scrambled eggs. You just have to have scrambled eggs, right? And much like that, when you enjoy those eggs this week, let that be a reminder that the gospel doesn't need anything added to it, right? It's by grace, through faith, that we are saved. So let that be the good news that we share with those where we live, where we work, where we study, and where we play. Well, you want to grab eggs in a new bowl, and we'll get some new ones cooked up here?
Sure, Dad.
All right.
I'll go get them.
Well, we're going to make some eggs. You enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for joining.